Alright, welcome to painting the Storm Giant from Nolzur's, part 14. And I think next up is, we're going to go ahead and apply a coat of contrast color. We're going to use Space Wolf's Gray from the Citadel line for their Warhammer miniatures. And these contrast colors are great, but you really got to shake them up. You can see they have like some sediment in the bottom, and I feel like I have to shake it until some of that goes away here. So I'm just gonna shake it. So let's see. I've been watching a lot of D&D related content lately. Sentiment's starting to go away, and I love a good anime. I really do. I've been going to anime conventions for a long time, and I don't go so much anymore, but I still like anime. It's hard to find something that I enjoy here lately. And I have found one series that I have been watching on Netflix that's an anime that I like. And the reason why is its connection to Dungeons and Dragons, I feel like. It's called Delicious in Dungeon. Or Delicious in Dungeons. I'm not sure, but scratching an itch. One of my players at the table told me about it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Check it out. And it's I guess you could say it's a perfectly logical sort of scenario, in my opinion, as a player and as a dungeon master of games as well. Food tracking is a thing. I always felt like I was obligated to mention that hunger is real at times during exploration, and it should kind of be considered realistically. So I try to encourage players to remember to bring food for such occasions as rests. And I feel like the video game Baldur's Gate 3 did a great job of sort of making you utilize food as part of your rest as well. Anyway, I've been I've been on that part of the spectrum where you're trying to find food as a player, and I've been on the side of the spectrum where you're trying to encourage your players to consider food as a resource that they need to consider, I guess. I don't know. So that's the whole premise of this anime, Delicious in Dungeons, as it seems, because they're out of food and they're out of money, and they've lost a party mate, and now they're going to go into the dungeon, and instead of buying food, they're going to see what monsters they can kind of capture or kill and cook and eat as a result. And many of the monsters, of course, are Dungeons and Dragons type monsters, and they all seem to have Dungeons and Dragons type class jobs, like a rogue for for lack of a better term, they call it like a pick lock or something to that extent. But it's obviously, kids are rogue, and there's the fighter, the front lights fighter, the paladin, I guess, and then there's the cleric, which I guess is the one that they've lost, I think. And then I'm using way too large of a brush to try to attempt that maneuver, so I'm gonna re-strategize here momentarily, and so they go into the dungeon and they're looking for animals that they can kill in order to eat. And if the D&D creatures that you think of, all show up, mimics, which the anime presents as like a giant crab. So of course they get the mimic to open its shell and then pull out its crab meat and eat it. Sorry, I'm just going crazy with spoilers here. So I recommend Delicious in Dungeon. If you like anime and you like Dungeons and Dragons, I feel like it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna enjoy this series. But that's one anime that I've been watching lately that's kind of hit the spot, scratch the itch, so to speak. Ouch, that's a little heavy right in there. Yeah. So I don't know. I like what they did with it. And I feel like, there's always a limited amount of resources, and the dishes that they come up with remind me a lot of like a Final Fantasy, like 14 or I'm sorry 15, where they come up with these dishes based on the monster that they've just eaten. Okay, I'm now going to use Agrax. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to use some different washes. We've got an Agrax Earthshade that I thought would go lovely with the Rhinox hide, and then I want to use like a sepia wash over top of the all of the orange leather, and then go back and reestablish that. I want to use orange leather, I think, right here on these parts as well first, though, before I do that. So maybe, I think I'll actually do that first. But I'm gonna finish base coating, and I think for this, I really want to do a red. But it's almost got to be slightly purple red. So I might actually use this heavy violet first, and then come in with this like haster purple, and then so I'm gonna do that real quick. It's gonna look funny for a second, I think, but I'm really gonna lighten it up, hopefully after this. So just this last sort of push on the base coat. It's gonna look a little wonky at first, I think, but like I said, I'm gonna bring it up considerably into the red spectrum here. I like the purples with the blues, um, especially for sea and ocean motifs. Okay. Okay. All right. I will begin with this Agrax Earthshade on the boot area so that get a feel for it. And I feel like, truthfully, that Rhinox Hide and Agrax Earthshade are a fairly used combination here. So I am personally not concerned, but I honestly also don't know what I'm getting myself into, to be honest there. Okay. So I'm gonna just I don't want to necessarily dip into the pot with these washes, and I think I have some utilitarian things here. It's just what am I getting? How much am I getting? Okay. So we'll try this here at first. And on his boot, like I said, I'm going to use a large brush to just kind of get some coverage. So I'm going to soak it up with it and then just kind of go in there. I know that purple is like, whoa, that's strong. But we'll see here. All right, yeah, I'm feeling like this combo of the Rhinox Hide and the Agrax Earthshade wash is doing everything the legends say it should. Okay, so I'm going to continue here. Just trying to get it down into all the little nooks and crannies. Being respectful of boundaries as well. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to use the Agrax Earthshade wash on the bronze parts. The other bronze parts, of course, I'm obviously using it on these bronze parts, but what I mean is probably use a flesh wash on some of the other sort of regalia areas. Yeah, okay, I'm out of wash, so I'm gonna dip back into the pot a little bit here, but I am liking this Agrax Earthshade wash over top of the Rhinox Hide, so I'm gonna keep going with that a little bit. We'll shake it up. Shake it up. So, a few more drops. Put the rest back. Wash out my dauber. I'm just going to continue painting along here on the other side. Easy as it goes. Just try to get it down in the nooks and crannies. Kind of like buttering an English muffin. You're just getting as much on as you can with these washes. All right, I think that is good. Need to go back and hit these little spots here and then move up to the shoulders. I'm going to have to reestablish this Agrax Earth Shade as well afterwards, but there's no problem putting another base coat on. But after these washes, those nooks and bumps and areas will definitely kind of be accentuated a little bit, so they'll be easier to pick out. Yeah, and my goal, of course, is to I really wanted to, I think I mentioned this before, but make a like a nice purple arcane energy effect on these armors, but yeah, the more photographs I look at, I really don't see it happening nearly as much, which is okay. I might not. We'll see. I'm just saying in the reference photos, that's not going on. Doesn't mean that it's like I can't make it my own. Well, we'll see. Okay, that purple has almost dried up. And I just kind of want to immediately go over it with this Haste Store purple. Woo, sorry, getting a little crazy. So I'll shake that up. And then last but not least, I think the Sharpnel Red from, this is from Fantasy and Scale Color A's Fantasy and Games. And yeah, I feel like they have some interesting colors in their lineup, in their Fantasy and Games lineup. And I'm always trying them out. I'm always trying to give them trying to always kind of go through my paints and give different ones a little attention. Really getting all over here. And that's okay. I think I'll let it dry and then try to come back and fix it. But that brought up the purple some. I can handle that a little more. And then like I said, the Sharpnel Red is kind of a good, I think, final stage here. Yeah, we'll see. That should dull it down a little bit more. Take the oomph out of that purple. Okay. Definitely gonna have to lighten up some of these areas on the beard, but I'll come in with a dry brush and do that. And I think, yeah, the next part is just to paint these straps. So I'll probably be doing that in the next video. I'll see you then.